So tell me, which design choice is worse? This or this? Okay, yeah, so Smurfs Lost Village I saw a while ago, and I was gonna do a review on it earlier, but I got sidetracked, so I didn't upload a review for it. But now I'm back. I am going to be doing a review on it. And I think my opinion on this movie is going to be as different as probably anyone else's opinion on this movie. Like, believe me, Sony Pictures Animation is my least favorite animation company, and they haven't made, like, any spectacular films, like, at all. But, like, if I had to choose a favorite from the company, this movie is my favorite. Like, it's not saying much, like, it doesn't bring much of an impact. It's not, like, the best animated film I've seen. It doesn't, like, sidetrack with anyone. It doesn't rival with any other company. But honestly, I think Smurfs Lost Village is just okay. Like, honestly, I thought it was gonna be, like, kind of like just like the live action movies, where, like, they just, like, try to do all they can to piss off the fans of the Smurfs. Honestly, I'm not really much of a fan of Smurfs, so I really don't know much about, like, the Smurfs backstory. I don't know how. I don't think I don't know if if they got, like, how Gargamel created Smurfette's backstory wrong. I'm not really sure. The only difference I got from this movie and that movie was that when they explained Gargamel's a way of creating a Smurfette, he made her out of, like, a potion or something in the live action movies. But then, like, when this movie came out, it said that she was made by a lump of clay, which that didn't really make any sense. And then in this movie, she also absorbs, like, magic. I never really understood that. Like, and clay doesn't really absorb stuff. Like, maybe she was if she was a sponge, but then again, that'd just be weird. But I don't know. At least give something. Like, this was, like, probably the only Sony Pictures Animation movie that didn't really make me, like, angry. Like, I was, like, annoyed a couple of times, but I wasn't really, like mad at it. I wasn't, like, going, like, ugh, when will this just end? Like, the only time I actually did was, like, whenever they made a joke, like, where Gargamel and Azrael are just talking nonstop, and it just got annoying really fast. Like, I think Gargamel and Azrael are, like, the worst characters in this movie. Like, for one thing, I know, like, Gargamel's voice, and, like, the actor who played Gargamel in this isn't as good as the actor who did Gargamel in the live action movies. Like, just being honest. Like, that's not saying that the live action movies are better. They're far from better. Like, other than that, the only good things I can really say about it is, one, I think Sony's animation actually only looks good when they're doing, like, something with Smurfs, and I'm actually, like, genuinely surprised that they actually, like, learned their lesson from, like, making the live action movies and actually just stick with it being fully animated, and they finally did that. Though I gotta say, they do rip off a couple of things from Trolls, like, how, like, everyone, like, comes together, they're all, like, gray and stuff, and then, like, suddenly they get their quote-unquote true colors back. I don't know, it's, like, kind of similar to True Colors from, like, Trolls, like, where, like, everyone's holding their hands and then they, like, starts glowing and stuff. I don't know. Also, like, that whole scene, like, I was just, like, in there, like, she's gonna come back, she's gonna come back, she's gonna come back, and then boom, she's back, and I'm like, oh, she's back! Not a surprise. Like, though, what I found shocking was that Meghan Trainor was in this movie. Like, legit, I didn't even notice that. Like, I knew there was a song at the end, though it's a pretty odd song. I think it was called "Cause I'm a Lady" or something. It's just, what the it's, like, probably a feminist's favorite song or something. But, like, I didn't know she actually played a character. She played a Smurf Melody, in the movie, one of the girl Smurfs. I actually never noticed. Like, not one line. I don't really remember. Like, how the fuck did they get Meghan Trainor to do it? I mean, Demi Lovato, I can understand, maybe, but, like, Meghan Trainor? Well, now we get another comparison with this movie and the Peanuts movie. Like, am I the only one that really thinks that this movie is kind of like a similarity to the Peanuts movie? Like, you have two animated films based on 2D cartoons, and they both actually do really well in having them animated in CG. Like, they actually look pretty good CG, and they, like, respect the design of the people who originally made the cartoon. Though, except, really, again, like, I think Peanuts is just more tolerable than the Smurfs movie is. And the fact that I'm more of a Peanuts fan, not a Smurfs fan. I mean, I'm a Peanuts fan. I'm not a Smurfs fan, so I don't know much about the Smurfs as much as I know the Peanuts. But really, other than that, like, I don't know. It's just one of those movies that you can't really comment on. Like, it's just okay and then nothing else. All I really gotta say is if you want a Smurfs movie, then here's your Smurfs movie. You finally got it. Like, you had to wait, like, a long time to get that Smurfs movie, but here it is. Yep. Though what I found odd, though, you notice that, alright, I can't even speak. Okay. Hefty Smurf is in this movie. You know, the Smurf that's, like, has, like, the muscles and stuff? Like, what I found creepy is that he's always flirting with Smurfette. Like, and not just once as, like, a joke. Like, that he continually does it. Am I the only one that felt that creepy? Like, they're technically siblings. I mean, I know Smurfette was, like, made of clay and she wasn't really technically Papa's daughter, but, like, I still, they're technically siblings. And, like, that's technically incest in a kid's movie. Like, 'cause that's fitting. Like, also, thank you, Sony, for reminding me of Friendship is Witchcraft, something I really want to forget. Just don't look it up, please. It's a horrible parody of MLP, and you should not really look it up. It's just, ugh, it's just awful. Like, again, I don't really got much else really to say. The story's pretty dull. It's pretty predictable. You can really tell what's gonna happen. Though there are some interesting things, like the lost like forest. I felt kind of interesting, like with like the whole environment was actually kind of creative, like like with the river, like how it's like all like bendy and stuff, like kind of like and like there's like these bunnies that like glow. I don't know why they glow, but that's kind of creative. And like with the whole village of the girl Smurf, that's kind of creative. Though I do wish that Smurf Willow, who's the leader of them, did not look a lot like Papa Smurf. Like, why do they look alike? Why? I never understood that. Why does Smurf Willow look like Papa Smurf? I never got that. Other than that, really, like, the girl Smurfs are kind of creative, I guess, even though they're just the other Smurfs, but, like, copy and pasted, and you can't really tell much of their personality this time. Like, they're just meh. Though the only like girl character of the Smurfs I found kind of annoying was Smurf Blossom. I mean, but like she wasn't really in the movie much. She only like came to like probably near the climax, like an hour in, but like yeah, she was still kind of annoying. She's like one of those friends that like you have and like you just can't stand. You just want her to like fucking end her life. But again, like every other character, like I didn't really care for that much. Like I mean, okay, Clumsy was just the comic relief. He wasn't really that funny. Like I don't even know how they got Jack McBrayer to be in this movie. If you don't know who Jack McBrayer is, he was also a Fix-It Felix Jr. in Wreck-It Ralph. And surprisingly, he was also an emo dad. If you don't know that, that's you probably a it's an animated web series made by the Fine Bros. I don't know how Jack McBrayer got to like do something that the Fine Bros made, but whatever, I guess. Other than that, like Brainy, I didn't really care for. Like, sometimes I like forgot that he even existed. He doesn't really do much except, like, give exposition and, like, be the one who guides everyone around. Hefty, again, is the one causing the incest, and I felt that kind of creepy. And Smurfette is just the girl character. Like, yeah, she's the main character, really, like, all she really wants to find, like, her true identity, like, her real personality. It's one of those, who you will be who you are, movie. Yeah, it's not really the most original movie. Other than that, Smurfette's just her whole personality is just a girl. Like, I always hate that. Like, I mean, I'm not sounding like a feminist, but it actually happens in some movies. Like there's always a girl character that's just symbolized as girl, nothing else. Just being a girl isn't a personality. Okay, just no. A gender doesn't equal a personality. Just there's just really no really much other like things to really say about the other characters. They make brief cameos, like Grouchy, who is one of the main characters in the live action movies, only gets one scene with Smurfette. Vanity only gets one creepy scene, and other than that, I couldn't really find that a Scottish Smurf that was in the last movie, and the Naughties aren't really mentioned either. Like, I am now really questioning, like, whatever happened to the Naughties? Like, if you don't know the Naughties, they were those, gray Smurfs that Gargamel made in Smurfs 2. Like, I never really understood what happened to them. Like, they never really mentioned them anymore. Like, I mean, they talk about Smurfette's backstory. I mean, the least they could do is bring up Hexus and, I can't really remember the Naughties' names. I really don't even care. But, like, dude, seriously? You're just gonna bring up, like, new characters and then you're just gonna leave them? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if in the sequel to Lost Village, like, they'll just forget all about the girl Smurfs and like, nothing would really, of source, happen, really. Other than that, there's also, Gargamel's bird. I never really knew Gargamel had a vulture. Like, if he did in the original cartoon, I'm like, kind of confused. Like, the bird really doesn't really do nothing. And again, like, there's just really not much to really say. The other really annoying thing was, like, that selfie joke that they did. Like, why would they... They're Smurfs. Like, how do they know what technology is? Though at least, like, they didn't do it on, like, a cell phone. They had, like, a ladybug. But, like, still, why do they know what selfies are? Like, why do prehistoric animals know what profile pictures are? Why? No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna like waste my time going. Why do characters who, I mean, animals or creatures that shouldn't know what technology is know what technology is? Because like then I'll just be ranting on for hours and hours and I don't got much time. Anyways, my recommendations, like, honestly, I'd give this movie a D, probably around a C minus or a D minus. Like, just between a 50 and a 40. Like, a 45, in my opinion. 45 out of 100. It's not the best movie in the world, but it's definitely the best Sony movie in the world. Like, if you want to see me bash on Sony, wait until August. Oh, trust me. You're gonna hear me as angry as, like, I'd be the most angriest person you'd see online. More angrier than Angry Grandpa. Like, I'd be throwing shit everywhere. Like, no, you'll just hear me in, like, pits of rage. Anyways, like, I hope you enjoyed my, not so brief review on, Smurfs The Lost Village. Yeah, like, what did you really think of the movie, being, like, honest? I mean, I always ask this, but, like, what do you really think of the movie? Like, is it as good as what I say? Is it bad? Is it, like, the best movie in the world? Tell me in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you all in the next review. Bye, stay possum. I love you all.